Can't take insulin at my desk? Go to my friend's black cat office? Great. I was working at a joy-sucking office for a gastroenterology office at the front desk. There was a woman who worked in a different department but deemed herself as corporate patrolman, constantly walking up and down the halls and yelling about anything she felt unfit for the soulless void. Not being a conservative Christian, she found me to be the target of her rage. One morning before patients were in the office, I checked my glucose. Type 1 diabetic. And injected insulin into my leg over my scrubs but under my desk. Didn't think a thing about it because it is a constant in my life. Later that day, the supervisor informs me I was inappropriate and now need to inject in the bathroom, or in the closet behind my desk that was made into an office for a close work friend. Unfortunately, I sobbed and didn't comprehend why I was being written up for taking necessary action with a life-saving drug and no one but her spying ass saw in a healthcare facility. They informed me I could not sue because they gave adequate alternatives. After I composed myself, I went to check my glucose in the closet office. Every hour. Talking shit with my friend and having to check multiple times to be sure. Take a shot every hour. Basically spent an hour with him per 8-hour shift. I quit but should have contacted a lawyer. Gastroenterology clinic? The top person there must be a doctor, right? I can't believe they would be against you giving yourself a necessary injection as long as you're reasonably discreet. And I suppose your corporate patrolman is not a doctor. Any chance you could go over her head and talk to one of the doctors about this? And so with this new policy in place, I had to drag my friend 40 feet to the bathroom before using his legally overly price-gouged EpiPen, and saved his life. Totally off topic. And I ask with a respectful mindset. Is it okay to give a shot through clothes or not clean area with alcohol? I take a shot every day and clean so carefully. I always figured since the shot goes in deep, I didn't want germs hitching a ride. Thanks. As one T1D to another. Awesome. I use a pump now, but I always hated taking shots in a public bathroom. You always have to set something down. Reasonable accommodation in your situation is a load of BS. Good thing you had a friend who was able to offer you a safe place to make sure you were healthy. MCTLDR. I can't do it simply at my desk where no one should see. Then I shall. Slowly and carefully in my friend's office. I was once accused of using IV drugs when I was just taking insulin and told I had to go to the bathroom. I calmly let my manager know that was illegal and they couldn't deny me the right to take my insulin and that giving myself a shot in a dirty bathroom could cause me to get an infection. She kept pushing, but I kept doing it at my desk. By the time a higher-up boss said something to me, it had turned into me taking heroin. I told that boss what was really going on and that I was being denied the right to take it at my desk and that's illegal, and they got rid of the manager. You have to advocate for yourself because no one wise will. Fuck that. T1 here, and if someone told me when and where I could take life-saving insulin injections I would be fuming. I understand if there's a situation where a more hygienic alternative is available, but beyond that, I will die on my little hill before I let anyone tell me where I can inject. I managed a boardwalk entertainment complex in a little southern beach area. My bumper car guy had to inject insulin and would usually walk out to his car to do it. One day I had a call on my radio to come help him at his car quickly. We parked in a little alley behind a seedy bar. A not too bright cop was walking by thinking he was shooting heroin. He was in handcuffs and thinking he was about to go to jail. Luckily I knew the cop's supervisor, who I regularly gave free credits on the shooting games in the arcade. The supervisor knew this guy was diabetic and really, you could look at the syringe bottle and tell it's not some kind of illegal drug. It took a little while, but we got him out of handcuffs and back on the bumper cars. He was pissed. We never saw that cop on the boardwalk again. Pretty sure he was moved to a desk job for a few months then fired. I'd have said yes and then continued doing it at my desk. They informed me I could not sue because they gave adequate alternatives. Whenever somebody has told me something like this, it's because they are afraid that I might indeed sue. I don't know how solid a case you would have, but on a surface level the statement is plain wrong. You can absolutely bring suit for any reason you want. Whether or not you should is another matter. Not 9 times out of 10, but more than often enough. People telling you, you can't sue me because X, are either wrong, or just really hoping you don't sue. You guys really need unions. Reasonable accommodation. Lol. If closets and bathrooms are unacceptable accommodation for breast pumping at work, they're absolutely not reasonable accommodation for insulin, which can potentially be quite time sensitive. Get it in writing and laugh that shit straight to court. This makes me so angry. Giving yourself an insulin shot should be seen as something completely normal, not inappropriate or offensive or icky or whatever. It's a fact of life. There are people with conditions that simply need medication or devices. Our 13-year-old daughter was diagnosed with type 1 a couple of years ago, and we taught her to not feel ashamed or embarrassed to monitor her blood sugar level or take insulin in public places. The sickness is horrible enough, especially for a kid that can't really eat candy or drink soda or other things kids love anymore. I don't want her to also feel strange about it. If it was pre-2009, it wouldn't have been illegal. Diabetes was only classified as a disability if it was in an uncontrolled state. An amendment to the ADA fixed it then. Prior to that, one case found an employee wasn't entitled to time off, so see a doctor when he was concerned about foot issues when his diabetes was starting to get out of control. But lucky for him, the ADA kicked in for him once his foot needed to be amputated, so he got time off for that. This would not fly in the UK. Here T1D is classed as a hidden disability, and carries the same rights as somebody in a wheelchair, for example. You were treated disgracefully. Yes. You most certainly should have contacted a lawyer. You should have contacted the very moment they said, I could not sue because they gave adequate alternatives. That was your cue to nail their asses because they already knew it was something you had grounds for. Yep. Call a lawyer. Find an employment lawyer with free consultations and give them a call. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I work with lawyers doing marketing. You might have a case. Fucking kidding me? I was on a road trip with a coworker and they were testing and fixing their pump as needed. They had to undo their pants a little at one point to adjust where the pump was injecting. I'm fairly conservative, though not Christian, and he's as liberal as they come. You know what bothered me the most? That we didn't travel together again. He was good company. That lady is a capital B bitch. And the other staff must have been capital W weak for not putting her in her place when she complained about something so petty. I don't understand why anyone would care that someone was injecting legal medicine in front of them. How does it even affect them? Do they go ape shit if somebody takes aspirin in front of them? What about a spoonful of cough syrup? If you are suffering from malnutrition, should you hide in the toilet to eat a sandwich?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.